reroutes a bunch of different gates, and then it got canceled.
It's been a bit of a nightmare, so along with everyone else.
It has been a long day for Alaska Airlines customers. Many travelers are still facing delays tonight after a temporary ground stop of the carrier's entire fleet. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. Seattle-based Alaska Airlines says it is working tonight to get back on schedule, blaming an equipment outage for those flight disruptions, and the ripple effects of that ground stop still are being felt tonight. Seattle-Tacoma International Airport is the airline's major hub. Let's give you a live look tonight at activity there at the airport. More than 400 flights have been either delayed or canceled just here at SeaTac alone. Fox 13's Nia Wong spoke with travelers facing some serious challenges trying to get where they need to go.
Alaska Airlines flights are back in the air.
We've had a great time in Washington.
Gretchen Moore says she and her dog Uma arrived at SeaTac Airport a bit earlier after hearing about Sunday night's ground stop.
We got here early just in case.
The Pacific Northwest carrier, along with Horizon Air, made national headlines for grounding its entire fleet around 8 p.m. on Sunday, leaving many stranded at the airport well into Monday.
We were at a wedding in Alaska, so like most of our wedding party got stuck at the airport.
Despite flights resuming several hours after the ground stop was ordered, delays and cancellations continued.
I heard Alaska is a good airline, but I don't know what happened this time.
In a statement from Alaska Airlines, the carrier says, a critical piece of multi-redundant hardware at our data centers, manufactured by a third party, experienced an unexpected failure. It claims the safety of our flights was never compromised, and the IT outage is not a cybersecurity event.
They would just keep delaying the flight until around 1 o'clock, 1:09, when we were supposed to actually going into San Antonio to the flight. That's when they say all the flights have been canceled,
forcing Marisol and her son Isaac to have an unexpected overnight stay in the Puget Sound.
They think my luggage did made it to San Antonio. For some reason, there was no seat for me, but my luggage was able to make it there.
Marisol says this isn't her first time flying on the Seattle-based carrier, but the experience, coincidentally, might mark one of her last.
My second time, and the first time was also a little bumpy too.
Yeah.
Well, my son is being sent out to someplace else, so that's it for Washington for me.
And that was Fox 13's Nia Wong reporting tonight. Alaska Airlines still is working to reposition its aircrafts and crews to try to get back on schedule. A flexible travel policy is in effect for ticket holders who do want to change their flights. We have an update tonight on that deadly explosion at a Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department training center that killed 3 deputies. Today, Sheriff's homicide investigators, along with the LAPD and the ATF, served a search warrant at a boat docked at Marina del Rey. This all follows an investigation into an apartment building in Santa Monica where several items believed to be grenades were seized on Thursday. It's suspected that evidence exploded at the training center parking lot the following day, killed those deputies. People in Santa Monica were rattled.
It's a little unnerving for sure.
Were they carrying boxes or anything like that?
I didn't see any people. Yeah, I didn't see any people in the cars at all.
Detectives Joshua Kelly Eklund, Victor Lemus, and William Osborne were all killed in that blast. The LA County Sheriff's Department has confirmed they are investigating this case as a negligent homicide, meaning criminal charges could be brought against the person who owned those grenades. Well, Marines deployed to Los Angeles after sometimes violent immigration protests will not stay in the city much longer. Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez spoke with people in LA County about the Pentagon's plan to withdraw those service members.
Great. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Reaction to Marines leaving Los Angeles. The Pentagon confirming in a statement to Fox 11 that, quote, with stability returning to Los Angeles, the Secretary has directed the redeployment of 700 Marines whose presence sent a clear message: lawlessness will not be tolerated. Indeed, there's barely any military visible at federal buildings. A stark contrast to the last few weeks when Marines and National Guard personnel were deployed by President Trump to help protect federal facilities and support immigration authorities. ICE raids so unpopular in neighborhoods like Highland Park that businesses began putting up signs reading "ICE off my property, get a warrant."
This is the right thing to do because people, they don't show up in the restaurant.
Customers at Tacos Ensenada love the sign, which also went up at the Super Big Discount Furniture, the AC repair shop next door, even the tattoo parlor.
No nos trajo the signs.
Business owners say the signs will stay even if all the troops leave the city.
We need all of the troops to return home.
Mayor Karen Bass talking about 2,000 National Guard troops still in LA.
Marines and the National Guard, they had nothing to do with the city, you know.
Please go and take ICE agents with you, she says. She's not alone.
Get out of here, ICE.
And that was Fox 11's Christina Gonzalez reporting tonight. 8 Western states are hoping a lawsuit will stop President Trump's plan to cut off access to Head Start education for children who are in the U.S. illegally. A coalition of 21 state attorneys general filed this lawsuit today. Hawaii, Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, and New Mexico all are involved. The states claim changing rules for access to the preschool Head Start program will create significant harm. Some Head Start providers say they do not have resources to begin screening for immigration status. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. says this change is part of a larger effort to protect the interests of American citizens. Authorities say the brother of former NFL player and Army Ranger Pat Tillman is under arrest for arson after allegedly driving his car into a Bay Area post office early Sunday morning. 44-year-old Richard Tillman is the younger brother of Pat Tillman. The former Arizona Cardinals star left the league in 2002 and joined the Army. Pat Tillman was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan. Richard Tillman allegedly plowed into the Almaden Valley post office in San Jose, sparking a fire that seriously damaged the building.
This post office, I'm telling you, there's no way this is a rational act. Like it's never going to make sense to attack a post office like this for any reason.
YouTube video shows Richard Tillman eulogizing his brother at a public memorial back in 2004. While the motive for Sunday's crash is unclear, his family said in a statement that Richard Tillman has been battling severe mental health issues for many years. Tonight he's being held in jail without bail. More than 30 people were injured when authorities say a driver plowed into a taco stand, a valet stand, and a crowd of people who were all waiting to get inside a nightclub in East Hollywood over this past weekend. Police say the driver, 29-year-old Fernandez Ramirez, was then attacked by bystanders and was shot by an unknown suspect. 2 witnesses told the AP that a fight broke out before the crash. LAPD investigators say they are looking at this as an intentional act. The driver was booked on charges including assault with a deadly weapon. In the Bay Area, the family of a Novato high school student is grieving after the 14-year-old was killed in a car crash that followed a police pursuit. Investigators say this happened on Lakeville Highway in Petaluma on Saturday night when a stolen car driven by a 17-year-old swerved during that chase and then rolled over. The 14-year-old died at the scene. The driver, along with 2 other passengers, a 15 and 16-year-old, were taken to the hospital with injuries.
All of a sudden, you just see this car just fly by, and me and my friends and my sister were like, look at this guy.
They do believe that the 17-year-old driver was under the influence at the time of the pursuit and collision.
And police say the driver will be booked into juvenile hall after he's released from the hospital. The district plans to hold a mental health support session for students and families coming up this Wednesday at the Novato High School Library. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, the best possible outcome after some terrifying moments in the Pacific Northwest. Tonight, see how bystanders saved the pilot and passengers on board this plane that crashed into the waters of Puget Sound.
And a live look here over the Golden Gate Bridge in the San Francisco Bay Area, where they're enjoying a Midsummer mild pattern. A better look at what we can expect here in the West coming up.
Also coming up tonight, quick action scares off a mob in California. We'll show you the video as a jewelry store owner pulls out a gun on that crowd. Some scary moments caught on camera in Washington. A small Cessna plane went down in Puget Sound yesterday. Several people who watched this happen from boats at a nearby dock got into the water to open the plane's doors and pull people out. The pilot and the passengers, both of them, are safe tonight. The plane sank after that emergency landing. Authorities still investigating exactly what went wrong there. A wildfire in Washington has destroyed at least 14 buildings, and another 250 are still at risk tonight. Crews say they have no containment on the Burdoin fire. It's burning along the Washington-Oregon border. People living in small communities near Lyle have been told to evacuate. The fire started Friday, and it's already grown to more than 10,000 acres. It is unclear the type of buildings that have been destroyed. Authorities have not confirmed whether those are homes, and the cause of this fire is still under investigation tonight. Crews say they are making progress fighting a large wildfire in Oregon we've been telling you about. Images posted to social media show the scene at the Cra Fire as some of the task forces that were called in to help were pulled out of the fire zone today. This fire started back on July 13th, about 70 miles north of Bend. Tonight it is 73% contained after burning more than 95,000 acres. 2 homes and several other buildings have been destroyed by the flames. Now, if this fire does grow to more than 100,000 acres, the U.S. Interagency Fire Center would classify it as this year's first mega fire. Investigators do believe this fire was human-caused. Meat lovers may notice it costs more to barbecue this summer, and many restaurant owners are blaming tariffs for this year's rising meat prices. Fox 5's Victoria Saha spoke with the operators of one barbecue joint in Las Vegas to get his take on how President Trump's trade policy is affecting business.
Ribs, burnt ends, chicken, sausage, it's all the deliciousness keeping John Mull's Roadkill Grill going.
We get it from all over. We get Canadian beef, we get American beef.
Beef that's costing owner Chuck Fromer a lot more because of tariffs.
Where's that seasoning for the rib?
A lot of the meat Fromer cooks up comes from Canada and Brazil and sold to major processors in the United States.
They're not really getting hurt. The consumer's getting hurt, and the small business owner's getting hurt, as far as, which is us. The burnt ends that we make. 4 years ago, the price of burnt ends were about $2.50 to $3 a pound. Right now, they're resting between $9 and $10 a pound. Brown sugar and seasoning.
So is your small business able to keep up with that?
Very difficult, very difficult. Yeah, because you're looking at an escalation of $2 in a 2-month period of time per pound. And everything in Nevada is sold by the pound. Here, you can taste it, Pete.
We're not hot.
It's too hot.
It's a lot for a small business whipping up to 3,000 pounds of barbecue meat a day.
We go through 88 slabs of pork ribs. We go through 24 briskets, 32 pork butts.
Are you constantly keeping an eye on the market?
Every day. Thank you, sir.
And that was Fox 5's Victoria Saha reporting tonight. President Trump has threatened 50% tariffs on dozens of countries starting on August 1st. Trump administration officials say it's possible that deadline will be extended if trade negotiations move in a positive direction. Let's talk about our weather now, and a lot of people in Colorado do not want to see a repeat of scenes like this tonight. Images posted online show heavy rain hitting communities near Boulder on Saturday. A flash flood warning was in effect for the central part of Colorado earlier today. For more, let's bring in KTVU meteorologist Rosemary Orozco, who is tracking the storm threat and the conditions across the west. Hey, Rosemary.
Yes, Alex. And as you can see here from the satellite and radar, a lot of activity going on. That monsoonal moisture will continue to feed into areas over the desert southwest and into the Intermountain West. No advisories for the Colorado area for tomorrow, although the possibility of thunderstorms in the afternoon will be for areas of the Intermountain West stretching down toward towards the desert Southwest. There is a flood watch in place for the New Mexico area that will be in place starting tomorrow noon and lasting into 10 o'clock. Meanwhile, we have a red flag warning for the parts of the Nevada, and that has to do with the dry, gusty conditions there and the hot temperatures. If we head north, we do have a flood watch that goes for just a little while longer today here in the north section right there of Washington. Now, when it comes to the rain, most of it falling over areas like Oregon today. That's where the brunt of the precip was. Seattle missed most of it, but got some cloud cover there, and upper 70s in the forecast for Seattle, Washington today. Meanwhile, the San Francisco Bay Area is seeing an unseasonably mild pattern, mostly cloudy over the bay today. Woke up with a patchy drizzle, and in some areas even accumulating a few 100ths of an inch. San Francisco below average today at 62 degrees. And then as we head over towards Los Angeles, a lot of cloud cover here over LAX, but low 80s in the forecast, and not only for today, but heading into tomorrow. The intense heat over Arizona today, 104 reported in Phoenix. So look at some of the highs across the region. Not the only spot hot today. Palm Springs coming in 105. We have 103 reported in Las Vegas. And then over towards the west coast, again, very cool for this time of year. San Francisco reporting 62 degrees. As we get into the evening hours, the low clouds are expected to push back along the west from California into areas over Washington. For tomorrow morning and afternoon, the monsoonal moisture will continue to trigger those possibility of thunderstorms over the Four Corners. And again, you can see a lot of action over the New Mexico area. That's where we do have the advisory for the possibility of flash flooding tomorrow. In the San Francisco area, the low clouds, the patchy drizzle returns tomorrow. Temperatures will remain status quo in the low to mid 60s for the Bay Area there. Meanwhile, in the southern part of the state, very nice and warm, upper 70s to about 80 degrees in LA. The intense heat will continue in Phoenix, but temperatures reaching above 100 degrees. Alex?
Okay, Rosemary, thank you. Well, the outdoors met politics recently in Arizona. Fox 10's Lauren Clark spoke with a man who had an unexpected encounter with a prominent member of the Trump administration on a Phoenix hiking trail.
Well, hikers I spoke to say Kennedy was probably the last person they were expecting to see on the Echo Trail of Camelback on Saturday. Not only were they impressed because of the rigor of this hike, but also what he was wearing, jeans.
Really made my day. It was very cool.
It's a meeting Matt Larson will never forget. On Saturday, he went hiking Camelback Mountain in the morning. Then something or someone caught his eye.
But it's what appeared to be a senior. I didn't have my contacts in, so I couldn't see very well, but he had a group of people around him and they were very close to him. And I thought he must have had an issue like a fall or like heat stroke.
As they were walking down the Echo side of the trail, Larson walked up to offer some water.
I noticed that the older person was talking politics to the people rescuing him. And I remember thinking, oh, leave it to an old white kind of boomer guy to be talking about politics on his potential deathbed.
Then the pieces started falling together.
Whoa, is that RFK?
He asked the men with the health secretary, which he then realized were security, for a selfie. Larson says Kennedy himself snapped this photo.
It was about 92, I think, temperature-wise at that point. So very impressive for him to have done that at his age.
Online, RFK Jr. posted this photo on his X page at the summit, garnering some admiration and some criticism for both the denim dad jeans attire.
Thinking that wouldn't be my choice of hiking apparel in this weather.
And the heat outside.
It is a little bit risky to be hiking if you're not acclimated to our weather.
Hiker Derek Keller, who took this selfie with Kennedy and a friend, said they met him around 6 in the morning when he first started up the trail. They said the weather wasn't too bad and that they even chatted with him for a few minutes too. For Matt, he says politics aside, he's still in disbelief over the chance encounter on the hard hike.
I let a couple of my friends know that, I didn't know if you know, but RFK is actually in better shape than you.
We also reached out to the communications team at HHS to see if Kennedy was here on personal business or if he was also here doing work business. We have yet to hear back. Reporting here in Phoenix, Lauren Clark, Fox 10 News.
Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a Southern California jewelry store owner refused to let a crowd of would-be thieves target his business, and now he's opening up about how he scared them off. Malcolm Jamal Warner, best known as Theo Huxable on The Cosby Show, has died in an accidental drowning in Costa Rica. Authorities say Warner was swimming yesterday afternoon on Costa Rica's Caribbean coast when a strong current pulled him deeper into the ocean. After The Cosby Show, Warner went on to build a successful career as an actor, director, producer, and Grammy-winning musician. He was 54 years old. A Nevada photographer is in the middle of a special project for the country's 250th birthday. Fox's Evan Leake spoke with him about how this will honor veterans.
I don't just bring a camera and start photographing. I want to talk to them and sit down, make sure they're comfortable.
Michael Conrad's approach to photography is well developed. It helps that he's done it in Henderson for 35 years.
What's it been like capturing this community for decades now?
It's been exciting because you get to see, the families I photographed or the kids I photographed many years ago. Now you start seeing their families come in. You start to see the growth.
A long time watching his hometown grow behind the lens. But in recent years, a new focus caught Michael's eye.
Charles over there, part of the 213 Field Artillery Battalion. And then you got Eugene, super nice guy, very humble, the machine gunner, I believe, down through there in Korea.
Capturing the stories of military veterans.
There's so many more people out there from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam that have these stories, and they need to be told, so we don't forget their service that they did, whether they were on the front line or whether they were back behind supporting the front line.
That's why Michael has started a new patriotic project, photographing 250 veterans ahead of the 250th anniversary of American independence.
250 faces of service and sacrifice. By July next year, I'll have photographed from 250 or more veterans from as early as just signing up and as far back as I can go. You had the heroes, you had the forgotten war, and then you had the spin on the despicable war.
What will be a catalog of our country's heroes, celebrating a quarter millennia of service and sacrifice.
I do not serve. This is my way that I can help and bring their stories to life and support them in whatever I can do.
Evan Leake, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Finally tonight, the owner of a jewelry store in Southern California took matters into his own hands to try and stop a large group of would-be thieves from breaking into the business. Security footage shows about 20 people trying to break into Alameda Jewelry in Anaheim using sledgehammers and pickaxes. The group arrived in 5 cars just a few minutes after the store's last customer left. But as they smashed the door, the owner grabbed his gun and fired off one shot, scaring them off.
Take my gun, I shoot one bullet, I scare him, he moves it, and the problem is done. They make me scared. I have to protect my business, family.
The owner says some of the family members were inside the store during that attempted robbery. All right, that does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching as always. Have a great night.